Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Your Benefits Connected presentation with Express Scripts. Express Scripts is our pharmacy benefits provider, and with us on the call is Amy Williams. She's going to walk you through our benefits here through Express Scripts, and we're very excited to have her. This is the first time we've actually hosted a Express Scripts information session, and so thank you, Amy, for joining us, and thank you for all of you all joining in. I'm just going to take a brief introduction here just to give you some reminders to please make sure your phones and computers are muted. Turn off your camera until we get to the Q&A, and then put your questions in the chat box. You can put them in the chat box as we go along, or you can wait toward the end for us to all answer the questions collectively. Again, the session is being recorded, and the playback will be available on demand on the APS Employee Wellness YouTube channel. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing, and Amy is going to share her screen and walk you through your benefits provided by Express Scripts.
Great. Get that set up here. Can you see it okay?
It's coming. There you go.
Right.
We got it.
There?
Thank you. Uh-huh.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, hello, everybody. Really happy to be here and talk with you all and just go over your pharmacy benefit. Again, my name is Amy Williams. I am the Senior Account Manager here at Express Scripts. And we'll go through some slides today that will give you a good high overview of your benefit through APS. Oh, let's do this here. I didn't click on it. Okay, that's fine. All right, so today, quick overview of what we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about the pharmacy benefit that's available to you. We're going to go over some helpful information and some common definitions that you might commonly come across as you navigate your benefit. We're going to talk about some resources available to you to help you also take control of your benefit, which includes our digital tools such as our mobile app. Oh, now it's working. Here we go. All right. So again, your benefit is managed by Express Scripts. So through Express Scripts, we have our Express Scripts pharmacy where you can get medication delivered right to your door. So really that added convenience for those long-term medications. You have access to pharmacists 24/7, just by calling that number on the back of your ID card through your member services team. You're able to speak to those specialists from the comfort of your own home. So it's a really key thing to always remember. And then you're able to manage your prescriptions anytime, anywhere. And again, we're going to touch on that some more later on about those resources that are available to you. First things first, your ID card. So here's a snapshot of what it looks like here. And so your digital ID card. So of course, this includes important information that you need at the retail pharmacy to process your claims through your benefit. So a lot of times people just often forget about this. If there's a local Walgreens, for example, that you see regularly, they've had your ID information, you haven't changed around anything, and all is good. It's in their system. But always keep in mind, you are able to access this electronically if you don't have your card on you by downloading the mobile app. You can get a virtual ID card right there. You can always request or replace an ID card if by chance you might have misplaced it. But includes important information on the front of the card that the retail pharmacy needs to process that claim. Then on the back are those key telephone numbers, such as your customer service number there at the top, the 563-9297. So important information there, of course, for you to always have handy. Vaccinations, it's fall, so it's really kind of a key topic as it is really throughout our lives, but particularly with COVID-19 era, as well as with the flu coming up this time of year. So just a reminder for you all, don't miss your shot at, oh, no pun intended there actually, at protecting yourself. So just know that vaccinations are covered through your pharmacy benefit. You would just want to call your local participating retail pharmacy. Just make sure they have the vaccine that you need in stock. And you can visit that pharmacy, talk to a pharmacist there to administer your vaccine and run it through your benefit with your ID card information. A Credo. And so here, a Credo is Express Scripts partner specialty pharmacy. And it provides personalized patient care for those members that have complex health conditions. So these Accredo members receive ongoing support from specialty trained pharmacists and nurses that are specialized in that specific condition. They also work hand in hand with the other healthcare providers for that patient, such as their doctors and other care coordinators, to always stay in the know and always stay together on how best to treat that therapy and that patient. And so there's always proactive patient monitoring and checkpoints and additional resources that are available for these individuals, such as Accredo mobile apps and so on, just to give them that extra level of support. These medications are quite costly as well as quite complex. A lot of them contain a lot of supplies that need to accompany the medication. So a lot of extra and a lot of temperature controls as well. So a lot of extra touch needs to go into play with these medications. There is also copay assistance available. Like I mentioned, there is a lot of these medications are quite costly. And so there is a patient assistance program available. APS partners with Save On SP. It is a program that maximizes the manufacturer assistance available for select specialty medications. It takes the work out of the patient's hands when they have other things that they need to focus on besides that and besides billing. And so by calling in to Save On SP, enrolling in that program for that medication, then they take care of maximizing that assistance available. And then the member cost share for that drug goes down to $0 through that program. Again, I said it's select specialty medications. I have the website here that is shown on the slide that you may go to. It's a direct link to the drug list for those medications that are included in that program. And outside of Save On SP, if the drug is not included there, and then it is up to the patient to go ahead and enroll out with any sort of copay assistance and supply that information to Accredo billing. Long-term medications. So these are medications that you take for ongoing conditions such as high blood pressure or cholesterol. And so these medications are ones you need to take ongoing. And through your benefit, you need to move these medications over to a 3-month supply. You have 2 choices through your benefits, and this has been in place for many years and continues to be this way, is you are able to move your long-term medication over to Express Scripts Pharmacy. I mentioned it earlier. It is a convenient option for you to get medications delivered straight to your door, free standard shipping. You're able to manage your prescriptions through one of our digital tools, get it enrolled in auto refills, and then again, set yourself reminders, track it all through one of our digital tools, which is quite handy. Your other option, though, you have is all of your local participating Walgreens pharmacies. You're able to move your medication over to a 90-day supply and to a local Walgreens pharmacy as well to maximize that benefit. So you have those 2 options there. Through the program, through APS, you are allowed to have 2 fills of long-term medications for 30-day supply at your local pharmacy before you need to go ahead and make that switch to both a 90-day supply and to either home delivery or to Walgreens. And there are a reminder kind of campaigns that we have in place to remind you of that. If you were to go ahead and do one of those fills for a 1-month supply, we go ahead and send you a little reminder to start getting ready to make that switch. Here is a look at your prescription plan at a glance. And so kind of talking about maximizing the benefit for those long-term medications, taking a look at the mail copay structure and then the Walgreens 90-day supply copay structure, they match each other. And you can see when you were to multiply the retail minimum maximum by 3, you can see there's quite the savings by getting those over to a 90-day supply. Now this structure here represents what the benefit is as of January 1st, 2023. So coming up here, there are some changes I want to call out that are shown on this slide. First things first is that there's a decrease in the out-of-pocket max. And so currently it is $2,850 per employee. It's going down to $2,500, for example. And there's a decrease in the family out-of-pocket max as well. There's also a decrease in the generic copay starting January 1st, which is wonderful. And so let's see here, to call that out here for the retail 30-day supply, right now there is a $25 maximum in place. That's only going to a $10 maximum. So that's wonderful. And then the mail and Walgreens 90-day supply generics are going down as well, $5. Encouraging you to take those generics. The brand copays are going up a smidge for 1/1, so just keep that in mind to always look towards that generic to save some money. All right, we're gonna switch gears here. Take it, I'm running horse 1 second. Thank you. We're gonna talk about some common definitions and some helpful information for you here now. All right, first things first is a drug list. So medications are routinely reviewed by an independent panel of physicians and pharmacists that are, just make sure you get clinically effective care. So these are regularly reviewed by these external parties to come up with a list of medications that are covered under your benefit, also called a formulary. These medications help to maximize your benefits and really take focus on those preferred brand medications that are lower in cost for conditions, as well as gearing towards generics and really helping to keep things affordable for you and for your benefits. There are some medications, products that are excluded underneath your formulary. There are always going to be alternatives that are available in place of that excluded medication. So always take note of that. And keep in mind that if you do find in talking to your doctor that you must take a medication that is excluded under your formulary, we do have a process in place, a reviews and appeals process in place, where your doctor may submit information over to us to take a look at if an exception is granted for you. If by chance you are maybe allergic to one of the alternatives and aren't able to take it. So that is always in place and an option for you as well. All right. When appropriate, I mentioned it earlier, and it's something that you probably hear time and time again here is when appropriate, we definitely encourage you to consider taking generic medications. 9 out of 10 prescriptions filled in the US are for generic medications. FDA-approved generics contain the same active ingredient as the brand name counterpart and are just as effective. So it's always a good idea to take note of the brand medications that you currently take and look at the generic options that you have to switch over to. And if you're taking a brand that does not have a generic today, just keep a note of checking back in on that. If it loses its patent and a generic comes available, go ahead and talk to your doctor about moving to the generic to save some money. So a good resource for you to use here, again, is one of our digital tools by using the price of medication function on either expressscripts.com or the mobile app, searching that medication. It will call out those things about some cheaper alternatives for you to talk to your doctor about. All right, prior authorization monitors prescription medications to make sure that you're getting the prescription that's suitable for the intended use and covered by your prescription plan. So if your pharmacist tells you that your medication requires a prior authorization, it simply means that we need more information from your doctor just to make sure that that this medication is being prescribed for the intended use and it is covered by your plan. And so only your physician can provide that to us. There's lots of means in doing that. They're able to call in to our customers, to our coverage review team, or they can complete a lot of times electronically and get it turned around very quickly. So it's just making sure that we have notes on and coordinate with your doctor to make sure that you're getting a medication that's safe for your condition as well. Drug quantity management. So this verifies that the correct quantity, either tablets or capsules, of the medication is prescribed. So when you prescribe certain medications that are part of the drug quantity management program, Express Scripts just make sure that you receive the amount or the quantity that's considered safe and effective by the FDA. A common example I say is if you are prescribed a medication that is a 100 milligram strength and prescribed to take it twice a day, this program might kick in and ask your doctor, why can't they take, 1 tablet per day of the 200 milligram strength, just to have that conversation, because what it does is it helps reduce waste in the long run, if by chance that therapy can go down to just taking 1 a day versus 2 a day. So that's a common example that I'd like to share. Step therapy is the other one I want to mention today. So this program helps reduce cost. It makes sure that you receive a safe and proven effective medication for your condition. And there's different steps of medications for each condition. So what this does is it drives you down, it's kind of an education program. it drives you towards those lower cost options for your therapy first, those generic medications. And then a lot of times people are able to take those generic medications or preferred brand name medications for their condition. And if not, then you go on to a second step medication that will be approved for you. And that's going to be usually those higher cost brand name products. So again, this just kind of kicks in to educate you and possibly your provider about some lower cost alternatives that could be used and could be prescribed. All right. To be a smarter pharmacy consumer, just some key points. A lot of them I've touched on in past slides. So first, again, ask your doctor about a generic or lower cost alternative for you. Again, just keep that in mind and always checking your medication listing for that. Use the most cost-effective pharmacy option. So that right there is talking about those long-term medications and getting them over to a 90-day supply at home delivery or to Walgreens. Take your medications as prescribed. I mean, life happens. Medications, if you were to change therapy, just make sure your prescriptions are up to date. If you're taking a medication through home delivery and we dispense that based on the directions from your doctor, if those ever change and that does not make its way to us, then really things just get out of whack. We got to keep the communication going between us, you, and your provider. So always making sure that those directions match up to what you are taking every day and do take them as prescribed. Don't be fooled by coupons. It's hundreds of high-priced brand medications offer coupons, but beware, it's a temporary discount that forces you to obtain that medication outside of your benefit, where it doesn't go through the clinical health and safety reviews, and in the long run can lead to higher cost for your benefit itself and maybe higher premiums. So do always look at taking your medications through your benefit. And set reminders to keep you on track. So this here is just, again, like I started to say earlier, is that life happens, vacations, and different life events. So always making sure that you have a way to set your reminders for yourself, whether it be in a planner or through our mobile app has dosing reminders to help you stay on track and not miss a dose. Some resources for you. This will kind of help wrap us up here today. Member services. So again, that number on the back of your ID card is placed here as well on the screen. This is your one place to call into to get the help that you need. So this team is available 24/7. They're able to help answer questions about your benefits, drug coverage, help you on pharmacy locating other cheaper options for you. They can answer all those questions for you, as well as get you in touch with a pharmacist if you need to get a little more guidance on your medication or have some questions or concerns about your prescribed medication. They can help get you in touch with the help that you need. Our mobile app. So the free download for most mobile devices, just search for Express Scripts in your app store. And from here, it's really, it's gone through a lot of upgrades in past years to be very easy to manage. On the main screen, you're able to see your medications that you've been taking. You can go ahead and manage your home delivery orders right from the home screen as well. Go ahead and reorder them, refill them, track the status, and so on. Again, the screenshot here does show that dose reminder that I talked about as well that you can set through your mobile app so you don't miss a dose. The other thing I'd like to say about the mobile app, which is really nice, is having it with you when you're there with your doctor and you're having that conversation about a new therapy prescribed to you. You can go ahead right away and type in that new drug that you're going to be taking into this app, and right away you're going to be able to know about, is there a cheaper option? Am I getting that generic? Is there a prior authorization required for this? So you can get those things up front before you go and visit the pharmacy, which is a really good thing to know. And then expressscripts.com. So one thing to know about these two digital tools for you here is once you go ahead and register and log in on one of the devices, you'll use that same username and password on the other. So you don't need to remember different logins for different resources. You'd use the same thing. On expressscripts.com, the first thing you'd want to do is go ahead and go into your preferences. Let us know how you like to be communicated to. Do you like to receive emails? You can provide your email in that area. text messaging. Do you like to receive a text is the easiest way to get a hold of you to let you know that tracking number, receive your medication? And so it's a good thing to do that right away when you get in there. But what's also great about this expressscripts.com is really the dashboard right when you sign in. Really, it's going to be like a one-stop shop for you. You're able to transfer medications to home delivery right there. You're able to refill, enroll automatic refill. All of that you can do really right there on that main screen. The last resource I want to touch on today is we have an open enrollment website that is always running year-round for APS. The URL is right there at the top of this slide here. Feel free to visit that whenever you'd like. This is a resource for you that will have the next plan year's benefit during open enrollment time. It will have the next plan year's benefit loaded in here so that you can proactively price medications and see what might be changing, what might be impacted to you, what might be changing for you come January 1. So you can stay ahead of the game there with that. It also will have helpful PDFs on there as well related to the formulary. So you're able to see some of those common medications that are covered, what's excluded, what are their alternatives. So it's a great resource to keep in mind as well that's there for you. And that wraps me up today. I know I kind of went through that. It feels like to me pretty fast, but I'm here for any questions that you guys may have.
So if you have questions, we'll put them in the chat box. And Alice Fritz had a question when you were on the 90-day supply for maintenance medication of the 2 refills before you're moved over. And her question was, and Alice, you can jump in if you'd like, is that per medication? Is that per medication or twice a year? And I replied to her, but I thought maybe it would be good if you want to review that for Alice.
I think I can see the reply on here too. Let me just go ahead and
in the chat.
Look at that. Yep.
And
yeah.
Alice, do you have any more questions around that?
And that is per medication. It is per medication as the program's running. So, but if by chance you have a therapy change and you switch strengths, that would reset it. But if you're taking the same medication ongoing and nothing's changed in your therapy, that it's just from the very beginning is that 2 fill limit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Amy? Great question, Elizabeth. Asks, if I misplaced my card, how can I get a new one?
Sure. Well, easy way to do it is if you want to have a physical ID card, call in your customer service. They can go ahead and mail that to you. Otherwise, if you want one less thing in your wallet, go ahead and download the mobile app and get on there and you get a virtual ID card.
I like the virtual ID card myself.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. And I think you have a wonderful app.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Because if not, I will start just kind of wrap things up. But if anybody has a question, then you can certainly put that in the chat. But let me go ahead and just give you a couple of closing reminders. And that is that we are hosting these information sessions all this week. You can find them recorded on the APS Employee Wellness YouTube channel. And our open enrollment is completely online using Winocular. We're going to walk you through that process if you need assistance with that on Tuesday, October 4th at 3:30. And again, that presentation will be recorded as well. But if all else fails, we are going to be available for you at the APS Employee Wellness Fair for assistance with online open switch enrollment. Also, our vendors, all our medical and non-medical vendor partners will be there. If you have other questions you'd like to get answered, Express Scripts will be there as well. And that's October 6th, 7:30 to 3:30 at Bonifacio. We're going to have a host of other things going on at the Wellness Fair this year. Vaccinations, as I mentioned in the chat, for flu, COVID-19, Tdap, pneumonia, and shingles. We will have all of that there available for you. We have consent forms online. It's always good to fill that out so that you can be sent to the front of the line. So if you have all that ready to go, it expedites the process. We're going to have a blood donor drive, biometric screens, basic CPR, other preventive health screens, and we just have a lot of local community resources available, mental health resources, and some really fun local businesses are participating to offer you a really interactive wellness fair experience. And lots of great prizes, and of course, a coffee truck, because there's no wellness fair complete without that. Leave your name in the chat box, please, and you will be entered to win a prize just for attending this session, because we certainly do appreciate your time and attention. You can connect with APS Benefits through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as the APS Perspective. That's your all-employee newsletter that comes out every other week. We are very consistent about putting information in there on your benefits and wellness resources. We have this Wellness Google event calendar that you already know about because you logged in via the link through that. And then we have aps.edu/wellness for all your wellness resources. We have the main open enrollment landing page that gives just all of the information you need for open switch enrollment, as well as the wellness fair in one place. So again, I want to thank you for joining us for this Your Benefits Connected presentation. And I'm going to stop recording now. And if you have any more questions, we're happy to stay on the line with you.